Hey, welcome back to Blake Inspires. Stevan Blake here, and thank you so much for joining me another week. Now, have you ever wanted to do something new, but every time you try to pull it off, you get overwhelmed with the fear of doing it, or worse, the fear of doing it and fail? Perhaps you have a dream to start your own business, becoming a speaker, writing your own book, or starting a blog. Whatever the dream might be, you just can't seem to leave that zone where you feel like it's better or safer to just stay where you are and don't try those new things with all those uncertainties. Well, that zone is known as the comfort zone. And if you can relate and you also struggle with overcoming that fear of stepping out of that zone, stick around as I'll be sharing with you 3 simple yet practical tips on how to step out of your comfort zone. This topic was requested by Britannia Wab. Now, by definition, the comfort zone is a state where things feel familiar to a person. It's usually a state where there is low risk, no sense of challenge, and there isn't much drive for one to reach for new heights of performance. In other words, it's what feels safe for you, your regular habits and your regular routine. With that said, you might be asking, then Tevon, what is wrong with that? Well, staying in the comfort zone prevents you from improving. It keeps you stagnant emotionally, mentally, and physically. It also stops you from achieving all the things that you're capable of achieving. Because in the comfort zone, there's nothing to challenge you. And as Fred DeVito would say, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. So if you want to improve, you want to achieve something new, or becoming all you possibly can be, we must step out of our comfort zone. Now, these tips that I'll be sharing with you are based on a process that I use for myself to step out of my comfort zone. So they are proven and they have been helping me to change my life. So I know that they can do the same for you. Now, right before I get into these tips, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now let's get right into it. Now, tip number 1 of how to step out of your comfort zone is to control what you focus on. Now I'm going to share with you a short experience to explain what this tip is all about. Now, when I was in high school, I was in cadet, and I remember a particular cadet camp. They woke us up early one morning, and I'm talking about like before daylight early, to do what I call the fear test. Now the task was for us to individually find a frog, bring that frog to our commanding officer, and hold that frog in our hand without showing any signs of fear. Now, where we were camping was a swampy area, so finding a frog wasn't the issue. The issue was I was terrified of frogs. However, the punishment of not doing what was commanded was far worse than holding a frog. So I had to shift my focus from being terrified of frogs and do what was commanded. From that experience, I recognized that if the consequences of not doing something is worse than the consequences of doing it, then we will find a way to make it work. So similarly, to step out of our comfort zone, we must control what we focus on. So don't get worked up focusing on how you're going to do it. Focus on why it is important that you do what is on your heart to do. If your why is not big enough, your excuses will be. But when your why is big enough and you focus on that main reason you must do it, then you will find your how. Get it? The second tip is to use language. Now, you must have heard me talk about affirmations so much in my videos because they really work. So today I'm going to use another word to describe it though, and that's mantra. So what I mean by use language is that you're going to create some positive mantras that you will repeat to yourself when you're about to make that new step and the fear starts to creep in. You're going to repeat to yourself these positive mantras to remind yourself that you got this. Mantras such as, I can do this, I am capable of doing this, I am an overcomer, I am more than a conqueror. And from experience, when I do this, the impact of the fear slowly fades away and it loses its power over my thoughts. So we want to use language through positive affirmations or mantras to scare that fear away in order for us to step out of that comfort zone. Now, tip number 3 of how to step out of your comfort zone is what I call the 1, 2, 3 rule. Now let me explain. If there's anything at all that you fear doing or you feel uncomfortable doing it, it's been on your heart to do it, but you just can't seem to find the courage to follow through with it. Whether it's to do public speaking, to try something new, or to try something that challenges you. Apply the first 2 tips, get charged up and ready, and then just count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and just do it. Just count to 3. And without any second thought, just take that new step. Just do it. Now, I remember the morning I created this YouTube channel. It was about 5 a.m. that morning. I had some assignments that I was doing the night before that took me the entire night to complete. So I was getting ready to go to bed. And it was just on me to create a YouTube channel. Now, I have thought about it before, but I never had such a push to do it until that morning. Now, while I sat there, a thought crossed my mind.
What you're really going to put on this channel, Tevon?
A next thought said,
don't worry about that. Just do it, man.
And I kid you not. I just counted to 3. 1, 2, 3. And I just quickly went ahead and created the email address for this channel. Then I went on YouTube and clicked create channel. Then I went ahead and created the banner before any more thoughts start coming to my mind. And the rest is history. Here we are today. So a lot of times, even though you cannot see the complete picture or where the road is going to end, like you're entering unknown grounds, just count to 3 and just do it. So I challenge you, try these tips today with something that you've always wanted to do, but you haven't been able to develop that courage to do it. Just control what you focus on. Then use language to chase that fear away. And then after that, just count to 3. 1, 2, 3. And after 3, without a second thought, just do it. So try it. Then share with me in the comment section your experience after trying these 3 tips. Thank you so much for watching and staying with me to the end of this video. Remember to share this video or any one of my videos with a friend, a family member, whoever you want to. As I always say, you never know the power of a word, and this might just be what they are looking for. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed as yet. Continue to take care of yourself. Be safe. God bless, and see you next week.